Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh and good evening. Welcome to the Primetime Asia. Tonight we'll provide you with some of Asia Pacific's latest update in the area of political conflicts, cultural expansion as well as economic developments. Incident attack recently at a luxury hotel in Tripoli, Libya left 10 people killed, while the discussion on resumption of six-party talks in Tokyo, Japan, leading this week's edition. Also included celebrations marking the 66th Indian Republic Day, 2 people injured in a truck bomb attack in Afghanistan, and meanwhile in Pakistan has been hit by power shortages. Here is Dianku Susilawati Pengen Haji Sabri with the reports.
The group called Islamic State in Tripoli province has claimed responsibility for an attack on a Tripoli luxury hotel that killed 10 people, including a Korean citizen, an American and 4 Europeans. 5 armed gunmen have bombed the main gate of a luxury hotel and went on a shooting spree in the hotel lobby. The hotel that is being attacked is frequently used by foreign diplomats, business people and Libyan government officials. Other guests at the hotel are known to have evacuated through the hotel's rear door. Libyan authorities say the armed assailants were locked in a standoff with Libyan government troops for about 4 hours before blowing themselves up on the hotel's 21st floor. The Libyan branch of the Islamic State declared on Twitter that the Tripoli hotel attack was in retaliation for the death of an IS member. Envoys from the United States, Japan and South Korea are holding talks in Tokyo, Japan, on Democratic People's Republic of Korea's nuclear program. The 6-party talks, which involve China, the United States, Russia, Japan, the DPRK and South Korea, was initiated in Beijing in August 2003 but has been halted since December 2008. Among the participants are Sung Kim, U.S. Special Representative for North Korea Policy, Junichi Ihara, Chief of the Japanese Foreign Ministry's Asian and Oceanian Affairs Bureau, and Hwang Yung-kuk, South Korea's Special Representative for Peace and Security Affairs on the Korean Peninsula. Reports say envoys are to exchange information about DPRK's nuclear issue and negotiate response measures that will be taken, with an attempt to resume 6-party talks at an early date. The DPRK side put forward resumption of the talks with no preconditions, which were declined by the envoys of the 3 parties who think the DPRK should take concrete actions on the denuclearization on the Korean Peninsula. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US President Barack Obama have announced that they had reached an agreement to break the deadlock that has been stalling a civilian nuclear power agreement. The agreement came on the first day of President Obama's visit to India this week. The US President said they had achieved a breakthrough understanding on 2 issues that were holding up their ability to advance their civil nuclear cooperation, and they are committed to moving towards full implementation, and this is an important step that shows how the 2 countries can work together to elevate their relationship. The new nuclear deal will boost civilian nuclear trade between the 2 countries. In 2008, the 2 countries signed a landmark deal giving India access to civilian nuclear technology, but it has been held up by US concerns over India's strict laws on liability in the event of a nuclear accident and tracking the whereabouts of American-supplied fuel. India celebrated its 66th Republic Day with US President as the chief guest for this year's anniversary. President Barack Obama arrived in Rajpath along with his wife Michelle. Mr. Obama was received by Prime Minister Narendra Modi amidst thunderous applause. The inclement weather conditions failed to dampen the spirits of Delhi's, who turned out in unprecedented numbers to be part of the 66th Republic Day celebration. Mr. Obama is the first U.S. president to be chief guest at the Republic Day and the first U.S. president to visit India twice while in office. The lineup of the event came in as spectacular appearances. This was followed by the president's bodyguards escorting President Pranab Mukherjee's cavalcade down Raisina Hill, marking the beginning of the 66th Republic Day celebration. Rajpath reverberated with the tunes of Swagatam Shubha Swagatam as President's cavalcade arrived escorted by the President's guards. The day also saw presentation of tableaus from various states. Each state presented their unique feature. A total of 25 tableaux took part in the parade, with 16 of them belonging to states and the union territories. First was from the city of Karnataka, whose tableau depicted Channapatna toys, breaking the usual tradition of exhibiting tableaus by various states in an alphabetical order. The Ministry of Defence has chosen the tableau of Karnataka to be at the front, leading the other tableau. Meanwhile, as New Delhi marked the 66th Republic Day, Indians in Sri Lanka also conducted the event away from home. Addressing the occasion, Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, His Excellency Yashwardhan Kumar Sinha, says that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will make a tour of Sri Lanka to strengthen ties between the two countries. A special ceremony to mark the occasion was held at the Indian High Commissioner's official residence in Colombo. Indian Border Guard policemen conducted a guard of honor. It was followed by a flag-hoisting ceremony by the Indian High Commissioner. He said that a great commitment is being made to take Indo-Lanka relations to a new level. People of India have elected a strong government in a democratic election in May last year. He pointed out that people of Sri Lanka have also elected a new president this month, making a democratic change in the country. President Maithripala Sirisena has elected India for his first state visit next month. The Indian High Commissioner also disclosed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will make his state tour of Sri Lanka soon. Former Minister Rajiv Gandhi visited Sri Lanka in 1987. This will be the first time that Indian Prime Minister is to visit Sri Lanka since then. Several Indian expatriates in Sri Lanka also participated in the Indian Republic Day ceremony. In Kabul, a truck bomb exploded in the Afghanistan capital, wounding 2 people in the first attack for almost 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Interior Ministry spokesman Siddique Siddiqui suggested the blast, which happened at a gas station near Kabul's military airport, might have been a premature suicide attack. The head of the Criminal Investigation Division of Kabul Police said that the truck was attempting to enter downtown Kabul when it blew up. President Ashraf Ghani, however, arrived about 2.5 hours before the blast at the adjacent civilian airport from Saudi Arabia, where he had gone to mourn the late King Abdullah, said an official, on condition of anonymity as he was unauthorized to speak with journalists. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack in a message on Twitter. A massive blackout has hit Pakistan, leaving as much as 80% of the country without electricity as officials rush to restore power. By mid-morning of the same power had been restored to about half the country of 180 million people. The country's Ministry of Water and Power said a militant attack on the transmission tower in the southwestern Balochistan province was the main cause of the blackout. The power failure, one of the worst Pakistan has experienced, caused electricity interruption at major cities throughout the country, including the capital Islamabad. It was later restored in much of the country, with the National Power Company saying normal distribution would resume within hours. The blackout emphasized the decrepit state of Pakistan's electrical grid. The country often suffers through long hours of electricity outages, as well as periodic gas and petrol shortages.
Welcome back. And from Japan, islanders of a remote village in the island of Okinawa has discovered a boat swept away in the 2011 tsunami, reaching their shoreline. Also featured in this week's Primetime Asia is the annual Tokyo Car Show, a traditional Cheongsam exhibition in Chinese Henan province, and events leading to the climax of the annual Hong Kong Marathon, in which over 60,000 people turned up, and some in unusual attires. Stay tuned for more reports.
People on an island in Japan's far south have found a fishing boat more than 2,000 kilometers from the place where it was swept to sea in the 2011 tsunami. Officials of Tarama Island in Okinawa Prefecture say people found the 6-meter vessel upside down on the island's western beach last Saturday. A serial number shows it belongs to a fishery cooperative in Miyagi Prefecture, northeastern Japan. The engine is missing and the hull is covered with barnacles. The mayor of Tarama village, Mitsuo Iramina, says it is the first time debris from the disaster has washed ashore in the village. Residents in Batu village in East China's Zhejiang province woke up to a nasty surprise when they discovered that a tiny bridge linking their village with a nearby town had collapsed after a heavy truck tried to cross it in the dark. The truck, which became wedged in the debris, also damaged the main water supply pipes running beneath the bridge, knocking out the village of their vital water supply. Villagers had to take a long detour to cross the river, as it was the only one near the settlement. Many expressed surprise that a heavy truck would even attempt to cross the narrow bridge. The truck driver said he got lost in the dark when driving to a construction site not far away from the village. Toyota Motors has unveiled 2 luxury minivans that can park themselves. They say cameras and sensors built into the Alphard and Velfire minivans are able to survey their surroundings and guide the vehicles into position. And rear sensors trigger the brakes if the driver accidentally steps on the accelerator. Automakers worldwide are competing to get safe self-driving cars onto the market. A traditional Cheongsam and modern fashion exhibition opened this week at Henan Museum in Zhengzhou, capital city of Henan province. The exhibition put on display a total of 132 pieces of clothing and related ornaments in 2 categories, traditional Cheongsams and modern fashion items. A number of models wearing Cheongsams of different kinds demonstrate the Chinese clothing item in both traditional and modern styles in the catwalk show. Xu Yan, curator of the Cheongsam exhibition, said some of the Cheongsams in the exhibition are hand-me-downs donated by local citizens. They donated the Cheongsams passed down from their grandmothers or mothers. Also on display are some modern Cheongsams in the style that people in Hong Kong and Taiwan are wearing. Some of the Cheongsams were donated by celebrities. The exhibition is scheduled to last until March 15. The Cheongsam is a body-hugging, one-piece Chinese dress for women, also known in Mandarin Chinese as the Qipao, dating back to the Qing dynasty, which ruled from 1616 to 1911. Over 60,000 runners have gathered to take part in this year's Hong Kong Marathon. Out of that total, there were over 1,000 people got discomfort or suffered injuries. 14 of them were sent to hospital for treatment and 2 were in critical condition. Some runners expressed their political demands during the race. The presence of politics, however, did not seem to affect the festivities. Many supporters gathered at Victoria Park, cheering from the sidelines and giving runners a much-needed boost as they hit the final stretch of the race. Similarly, with the previous years, some runners came out dressed up for the event. There was a new route for the final kilometre of the races this year, where runners have to go along Hennessy Road. As for the results, Sintaihu Merga Irigu from Ethiopia won the men's full marathon in 2 hours and 13 minutes. In the women's category, Kim Hae-gung from North Korea took the top spot in 2 hours, 31 minutes and 46 seconds. Meanwhile, homegrown runner Ivan Lowe finished at the top in the men's 10-kilometre race, crossing the finish line in 33 minutes and 17 seconds. Another local athlete, Kong Lai Ming, won the women's event in 38 minutes and 33 seconds.
And that concludes for this week's edition of the Primetime Asia. Until we meet again with more interesting news next week. To watch more on Primetime Asia portal video, you can visit our website at www.rtbnews.rtb.gov.bn. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and wishing you all a pleasant week ahead and good night.